respectively throughout the course of the match. And MYM, without really even a moment's hesitation, what it does mean is Nautilus has been gifted to Maluno, and Muvert, I expect, will get this Elise.
Yeah, it worked out very well for him in game one. Remember, he had really good scores, started off so nicely for Hosan. I'm wondering if he's got Elise, I'm wondering if we're going to see Draven go alongside him.
It's definitely a possibility. Now, the only time we have seen Draven was when it was featuring on the blue side. In addition, once Draven wasn't played, we did see Hosan playing Varus throughout the entirety of that matchup. Varus Zyra might be a possibility. Varus Thresh might be a possibility. I feel like Libic's Zyra was a little better, and I think if you lock them up in that Stranglethorns, plus you have less bounce going around, I prefer that synergy, especially when you add in the Varus ultimate as well. So we'll see if they agree with me or not.
Yeah, and I'm seeing like hand motions, like the hook or maybe the roots, or
yeah, exactly.
They're not too sure what they're going to go with themselves. We've seen them all swinging, discussing it. Shen. Oh, Makata's like, what do you want me to pick?
Yeah, he really wants to know, and I'm even more interested to see whether or not Makata's actually going to be playing that Shen in the jungle. I haven't really liked it in his early game. So if they give it to Zach, who does have a very good early game gank-heavy type of gameplay, and give Kuban Shen in the top lane, maybe that'll work. But then again, you might see a Rumble being locked in for Dragonborn, being given to Yamato to try and shut down that Shen in the top lane.
Interesting. We'll see what works out. Shushay with the choices in Hosan. Of course, won't be their lane. We'll see which ones they do go with. Maybe he will go with an AP champion, who knows? We're seeing Muvert discussing it with his team.
So they're talking a lot. Now remember, Kha'Zix is opening. Kha'Zix is a champion we haven't seen much of this weekend. A few times we have. He has done relatively well. With Varus not being there and Hosan maybe not being 100% comfortable for that Draven pick, if he does decide to go to Ezreal, it's going to be one of his most played champions. We've seen him playing it so many times throughout the course of the split. And he's been a lot of champions 4 and 5 times during the course of the season.
So Nasus for Maluna. And there is the Zyra, you called it. And there is straight away Orianna for Sharu.
So I really, really like this composition. In terms of everything that it can do, if Libic lands half of the Stranglethorns that he was landing in the previous game, and whoever gets Zac is bouncing around, that is a scary combo before we add into the effect, the command shockwaves. That is going to be a lane Nasus. Keep that in mind. So it'll most likely be a Yamato Cannon with Nasus in the top lane, and you can see that with Ghost and Teleport being selected.
And there's Shushay's Gragas again. You know, we talked about Makata's Shen, saying it wasn't great early stages, but those flash taunts were fantastic.
Exactly. Now, that's the thing about the setup, that his mid to late game was very good. His Stand United's arguably late in game 1, much better in game 2.
Yes.
And in game 2, those flash taunts were game-changing. They actually could have set them up to win games. I just fear for Kuban in the early lane, in the early game right now, because now he's going to be coming up against the Nasus, or they might go for a lane swap, which is a definite possibility. We've seen that with Zyra in the previous game. But if they're going to go straight up head-to-head, Zac should probably win against Nasus. Wither's not going to affect him as much. He doesn't rely on auto attacks, and he can simply just hop on you with a slingshot. Well,
the game is going to start in 10 minutes' time. Overall, what do we think of the two-team comps here? We've seen Dragonborn's going with a fairly standard-ish comp for them. As I say that, it's not overly standard. They have got Nasus this time around for Maluna, and of course Gragas in there once again, but I like Meet Your Makers comps here.
So the one thing that I definitely like about Meet Your Makers is the synergy between all of their ultimates and just how well they're going to pile on top of one another. And you see, ooh, a little wink there.
It was kind of like a double. It was like almost a blink than a wink. I'm not too sure.
It was a delayed blink. It was left and right.
To be fair, Froggen did the same thing. He wasn't quite sure whether he wanted to blink or wink, and ended up sort of like half doing both and screwing up his face.
Well, compare the facial expressions of MYM in comparison to that of Dragonborn's. Smiles and happy faces from MYM, and stern looks of focus from the Dragonborns. I really like their new golf shirts, by the way. It's something that I think more pro teams should be doing. I always prefer the look of that to a normal t-shirt. Right now, like you said, the composition of MYM, teamwork and synergy of the ultimates will work very well, but they are somewhat of a press R comp. If they don't have R to press, their power level will drop below 9,000.
Libic on the end here. He's a big unit, but he's been supporting Makler very, very well in that last game. Created many opportunities, and really those grasping roots were kind of what turned it around in the final fight. Dragonborns, how are they going to cope with their first loss in the series? Will the momentum swing be enough for Meet Your Makers to carry on through? Or will it be Dragonborns that do take the final match up here? Well, I say final matchup. It would be the final match if they take it.
If they win it.
But of course, we could have a fifth if Meet Your Makers get in. We're going live into the game, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be the blue team of Meet Your Makers and Dragonborns on the red side.
So right now, as soon as we see the teams setting up in terms of level 1 power, I think that both of the teams both have pros and cons, and the fact that Libic will be starting with those grasping roots means you don't really want to invade on a team that has that ability, can lock up your entirety of your squad and just pick you off one by one. So instead, both teams having a very defensive start, both going for those human ward positions that we have seen all so often this weekend long.
Zach. And really, yeah, like you say, a human ward pretty much across the board. Tribush covered off. There may be actually engagement in the Tribush. MYM may well go in with the cocoon to start with. Instead, he puts that ward down. Oh, is he going to get taken down? He can get quite the reset there. Obviously have the skill and quite the time, the attack speed. Yamada Cannon trying to do the same thing as well, leveling up his Q to start with.
Interestingly, seeing both Makla and Libic actually not even positioned to try and engage there. Hosan and Movement were moving forward, and they were backing away. You know, as they seen them approaching, they immediately step back. Now, fair enough, they weren't 100% certain that the entire Dragonborn's team wasn't behind them, but nevertheless, playing defensive, playing slow.
Siphoning Strike.
Siphoning Strike is the Q for Nasus.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
With
testing my memory here.
Nicely done.
It's great to have
just preface that with a bit of an explanation next time.
It's good to have Wikipedia alongside me there to just help me out.
Don't start that, Shane. I'm not that good. But, right now,
I've seen your secrets. You cheat.
Hosan and Muvert are obviously starting with that wolf cam to counterbalance the fact that Makla and Libic will be taking the double golems. And I'm definitely interested to see Kubon Zach. It is a champion that has been banned out in all 3 previous games. Will it be the secret weapon that MYM need to win the game?
Dragonborns have been doing this a number of times here, taking down those two little golems alongside it, or whatever the class does, the little fire-breathing things.
I'm not even sure what they be. Many blue elder lizards?
I don't think they're probably got a name in the lore somewhere.
We should know this. Someone from Riot, please.
Oh, Riot, please. You should know this.
So someone will find the text right now. Look at the damage onto Makla and Libic already after starting those double golems and from neurotoxins coming out of Muvert and a lot of mystic shots. I mean, it's just catch the skill shot day for MYM.
And the pink ward being put down by Muvert to make control of that bush, and instantly he's just landing shot after shot here, and the cocoons from Muvert puts the pressure completely on Meet Your Makers. And you talked about it earlier on in the analysis desk, the fact that they've worn out that lane every time, and they're doing it again. They're just completely zoning them out.
Yeah, we'll see how well this works. Don't forget that Hosan has gone for a red pot start, so Fortitude Elixir has been picked up. And we'll see if that additional plus 15 attack damage is going to be enough to help him secure any kills. If they get any more poke down, a cocoon, red pot into Arcanshift Mystic Shot may actually be enough. They've managed to dodge both of those, so Makla, maybe not a little bit more on point in terms of avoiding that damage.
The poke back and forward continues. Libic does get the grasping roots on Move, and they do get damage, good damage on towards Hosan, in fact, there. And now that's going to cause him a problem. That's going to be Meet Your Makers trying to bully out this lane a little bit more.
The one thing I would have liked to have seen from Makla is trying to land an ability after that. So popping those 3 Blighted Quiver stacks and really just dealing that percentage HP damage. And for the first time in a long time, we see Markate moving to the bottom lane. Charo and Shushe going head-to-head.
Shushe getting very aggressive on towards Sharu here. The ball is out. There's going to be the attack ball. Doesn't have enough for distance. Or actually, don't even know if he's leveled it up yet. He has gone 3, so he must have leveled it up at some point. Just didn't choose to use it.
So well played there by Charo to at least get some counter damage back. But you can never pick a fist fight with a Drunken Rage Gragas because you will lose that engagement, even if you have that Clockwork wind-up passive. Right now, though, a very low mana Gragas. This is key, because if Maluna wants to make this gank work, Gragas is going to need to land his abilities. Can he get the hook?
Defensive ball in there, not going to quite land on. Very, very close, though. Shushe, of course, he's chugging down that beard to try and get some mana back.
Yeah, so he's going to be able to at least get some of that back with his W each and every cast, and that is, of course, a free spell cast, but it will take him a little while to get back up to spam ability level. Libic throwing out a very tentative grasping roots, but it didn't really do all that much. Right now, Maluna has waved himself up to this top lane and tries to jump on the gelatinous flubber that is Cubon.
And look how often Maluna is trying to create plays here. He's just trying to drive by in the mid. He's been down the bottom already briefly, didn't bother going for it. And again, now he's in the top lane. So he's all across all 3 lanes trying to create the plays and trying to clear out his farm. While this is happening, Makata, he's just simply been farming. Tried that one in the middle, didn't work.
And now what you also got to remember is not only is he trying to make those plays happen, trying to find an opportunity, it now creates that psychological doubt in each of the lanes. It's going to make them either invest more in wards or try set, even play a little more passively. We do see though Makata has moved his way up to the top lane. The knock-up is on Yamato, and he's in trouble.
Kubon bouncing on towards Yamato Cannon, tries to bait back and forth, trying to dodge out that taunt. Not going to happen though. Makata does manage to land it. Ignite down. This could be first blood. It will be first blood, and it's Kubon that gets it.
Well, Kubon's going to be over the moon. The Dredge Line's come back, but Maluno's feeling very brave there. And of course, Kubon, after the first 2 games and how difficult they were, he's now picked up 2 first bloods back-to-back in games 3 and 4.
Mid lane is going to be the fight. Shushe goes for the belly slam on Charu. They're going toe-to-toe here. Who's going to get it? The Ignite's running down between the two. The flash comes in. Shushe does get the kill. Will the Ignite finish? No! He gets away with it, and Charu goes down.
Not only that, Shushe stopped in the middle of the fight to drink a shot of his brew, managed to get that drunken rage down, and I think we heard a little bit of
the music there,
Someone
finally.
Give Onzo a high five. That was awesome.
Finally, although he did cut away from it. But it was, of course, to follow the action in the bottom lane. A little bit more important than the music coming out of Gragas.
But yeah, very good fight. And it was the damage reduction that's built into that Drunken Rage that really helped Shushe out. And of course, it helped him in terms of that mid lane engagement. They trade 1-for-1. MYM Dragonborns once again, even on kills. The Cocoon's called Libic.
The Cocoon goes in, Libic gets his fangs sunk in there, and Moveback comes in. Now they're going to turn it towards Makler. There's going to be the passive coming out. Will they be able to focus it down? It's going to be the teleport coming in. Charu joins the party. Hosan's going to go down. Makler picks up that kill. Can they get on towards it? I tell you what, Charu teleport more of a defensive use than anything. I think Makler may well have got that kill regardless.
So we did see this. He managed to pick up an assist. So yes, I do feel like Makler had the burst damage to secure the kill. What we didn't see from Hosan was him using his barrier. It is still available in that fight. So if he'd popped that, maybe he could have taken Makler with him. Nevertheless, 2 for 2. You see play for play being made. And these top laners, this is going to be a fairly boring fight. Nasus is going to be able to just pop that ultimate of his very soon and run away. And I don't feel like Kubon Zac will be able to burst him down without any ability power.
Well, what we are going to see with Yamato Cannon on that top lane Nasus is he's just going to be building that Siphon strike up, so hopefully the camera guy will keep a look on that over the period of time to see how much it does build up, because that's one of the key abilities that Nasus has. He's away in that farm in the top lane for so long in the game, and honestly it's actually something that, you know, is a danger, because Yamato Cannon does sit and farm away in the lane, and he's going to be quite happily building that up. You can see he's landing that Siphon strike every time. He's going to try and land it on the Siege minion once he gets taken down low.
Plus 75 already. At 7.5 minutes in the game, it's plus 75 bonus damage with the exclusion of that bonus AD. So exactly like you pointed out, like we've said many times, Yamato Cannon likes to split push, he likes to be alone, and if he farms up that siphoning strike, it can get to the point where it can 1 or 2 shot AD carries. And that's the point where they want to get to. Run into Varus, throw the Wither down, smack him in the head with that siphoning strike, and drop him in one clean sweep.
A bit like it's hot. Shushe's going to clear out the blue buff with the help of Maluna. Takes a quick swig, and he is going to take the blue. So blue looks like it's not going to get contested by anyone. I wasn't sure whether that was where Charu was running to. Hasn't got the blue buff of his own, I don't think. Yes, he must have passed by already by now.
So I feel like this is very important for Shushe, because his opening minutes of the game with Gragas, as well as his previous performance, shows that, to be very honest, he's not the greatest at mana management. He likes to spam his abilities, he likes to play very aggressively, uses it to farm, uses it to poke, and obviously having that sort of infinite regen is always going to play into his favor. But we'll see how well he can make use of it, and whether or not he's going to get those explosive cast, bounces in the right direction, like we've seen from game number 1.
9 minutes gone, and just 200 gold separating them, 1-1 in kills. The 2 kills that did come in, Kubon taking down that top lane with the help of Makato. And of course, the other kill was in the mid lane for Shushe, going head-to-head with Charu.
So, at the moment we see Kubon, he's building what looks to be a Warmog's armor. We'll see what it does eventually get upgraded to, and just trading damage back and forth, and Kubon just picks up one of his blobs, gets some of the HP back, and pretty much not afraid of anything right now.
And Siphon strikes every time he goes in towards that Siege minion as well. He's going to be building it up more and more. Shushe throwing out the barrels to Charu, and he does chew on that one. Let's have a look at the AD carries. They've not been really a lot happening in this lane. It's been pretty much a kill lane, effectively. The fact that he has got Zyra and Elise in there, but not a great deal of kills happening.
So I'd like to see how Hosan decides to itemize. He's got 2 long swords picked up, which means that could be going for a Bilgewater Cutlass, although you would expect the Vamp Scepter in that case. If it's 2 long swords, it's probably going to be that Spirit of the Elder Lizard, that kiting blue buff build, or kiting blue build that we do tend to see out of Ezreal's. It's pretty much become now the standard, if I can go that far.
That's the standard Ezreal build now. Yeah. It's almost certainly, it's here in the LCS and I believe across the Asian scene as well.
We'll see whether or not he does actually build that up. It does give him a nice early game power spike, and of course it doesn't necessarily scale all that well into late game, but with his team composition, the kiting and the damage, that you want to buy time for Nasus to get more siphoning strikes off. That's pretty much the goal of farming up an on-hit Nasus. And all of that, Iceborne Gauntlet kiting power will work into his favor. We may even see one of those items being picked up by Nasus, actually. It synergizes quite well with his entire kit.
Interesting route from Makata there. I think he realized that there was a ward there. He said, yep, there's a ward here. I'm just going to go around, and he went completely around the backside of the red and went straight back to the Wraith. So he can put a little bit of fear in their mind. Sharu getting caught out in the mid lane here by Shushay. Explosive cast does blow him in towards it. Shockwave returns, though. Is it going to be enough? Sidesteps. Here's going to be the Shadow Dash. This is going to be the ultimate. Will he get on towards it? Makata, long range. The ball comes in. Dissonance from Sharu. Does pick up the kill.
And that is how you play jungle, Shen. 11 minutes on the board. The Stand United came down at exactly the right moment. If that body slam had landed from Shushay, the ignite plus an auto attack may have actually been enough to kill off Charu, but it was not the case. The skill shot missed, and therefore Charu evens up the score in the mid lane 1-1.
Takes that 600 gold advantage, of course, the kill and assist spread across this bottom lane. 88 CS actually advantage to Makta right now over Hosan. Hosan not really being as aggressive as we're used to seeing on Ezreal, of course, against the Varus. That's no surprise there because there's hail of arrows. They can poke you down something severe from long range.
Yeah, very, very painful. What we do see is one of the first item pickups for Yamato Cannon. He's gone for that Spirit Visage, so remember that Nasus's passive is that lifesteal, so he'll be increasing that particular ability and all of the regen there from that Philosopher's Stone as well. So really good itemization.
Meanwhile, Yamato Cannon continues to farm in that top lane. Spirit Visage being picked up by him along with that Philo Stone he had much earlier on. He does put that ward down in the river. Kuban, meanwhile, he's got himself the Sunfire Cape and now actually got himself a Regrowth Pendant, possibly going for a Warmogs.
Yeah, that's what I thought for the very first pickup because he had there's Libic's caught.
Libic caught out by Maluna here, and he's going to have to use his ultimate to try and catch out from it. There's going to be True Shot Barrage from Hoshan, beautifully lined up. And Maluna picks up the assist.
So Maluna pretty much just 1v1 Libic, and it was the last hit of damage from Hosan that secured the kill. Flash wasn't even used from Libic. He realized how much trouble he was in that particular setup. That's Kuban picking up that Reju bead. I'd like to see what it does upgrade into, because initially I thought it was going to be a Warmogs with a Giant's Belt. Instead, he's decided Armor is going to be a little bit more important to try and deal with Nasus and make sure he can maintain this laning phase for a little longer. Right now, there's a party in the top lane. Kuban's the one that they want to dance with.
Yeah, I'm not too sure whether Makata's invited, but he was coming up there. Sharu does take the blue buff, and he's clearing out that lane again. We do see Gragas heading south here, so they may well try and set up a kill, but Ping's coming down. Shujay realizes, oh wait, they're not even in the lane.
So once again, tense start to this matchup, and however, for the first time in the entire series, Dragonborns have not been the ones to get off to an early lead and an early advantage. That Elder Lizard Spirit item has been picked up by Hosan, so he will be returning back to lane with that, regen as well as that damage over time. Dots that the item does grant you.
Shushay and Sharu actually very even in that mid lane. They've got a killer piece on one another now. Makatu clearing out, looking around towards that dragon and actually going aggressive. He's heading in towards the red buff. He's going to go for his own red buff. I thought he was going to go for dragon though, but it's like he went down there and then it was just like, no.
It did look like he was trying to set up for something, but at the end of the day decided
to just why he'd take that route.
Yeah, just going through it. I think it may have just been, scouting it out, making sure that at 12 minutes on the clock.
Did he get the steal? Did he? No.
It did look like it. He got
the steal. Wow, Hosan with the steal. Simply with that wall. He's got no vision on it. He just knew that Makatu had gone towards that area. So fantastic play from Hosan.
What he did see, because of the route that Makate took, he shadow dashed over the wall, and Hosan's like, oh, he's taking red. It takes 27.211 seconds to take red with a Shen at this level. Therefore, I'll time my True Shot Barrage. What great game sense and what great play there from him.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So, Top lane, Yamato Cannon continuing in the farm, and he's against Kubon's Zac. How are these two champions going to fare when the team fights happen? Will Yamato Cannon even be involved in those team fights? If they do happen, you bet your life Kubon will be.
Wow, 110 plus 108 base plus 210 physical damage. That is a very big hit. If I do my math correctly, that's 430 odd damage per siphoning strike right now. So Yamato Cannon is going to be very scary. You asked how they're going to do in team fights. Simply put, Kubon's going to do better. And the reason for that is simple. AoE percentage health splash damage plus let's bounce that will be hitting there. Now, Nasus has similar with his ultimate on, but he needs to be in a little bit of a riskier position as he needs to run through everything.
You could discount that and say Makta's not going to be in the fight because, oh, True Shot is True Shot Shockwave goes in, explosive cast blows him in towards the turret, but of course, Shushay realizes there is going to be Makata available. There's going to be the True Shot Barrage. That's going to whiff past, straight past. Not going to allow move. That goes aggressive. And Chain Shot Barrage going to go through. No, he gets taunted. Husad's going to get taken down on the turret. Can he take him with him? No. Well, Stand United was used by Makata. It wasn't really required. Nevertheless, the barrier saved him. And now Move might get covered on.
Makata, after not figuring out how to play Shen in games 1 and 2, all of a sudden comes out of nowhere in game 4, playing so phenomenally well. Landing taunt off the taunt. He may have wasted that Stand United at the end, but managed to get an assist. And again, 0-0-3. He's helping his lanes win.
Apologies if some gibberish is coming out, ladies and gentlemen, during this play-by-play. I've no idea what I'm saying anymore sometimes, honestly. We've been on air for a little over, nearly coming up to 14 hours, I think it may well be right now. And it's, there's a few things I'm saying that I'm not quite sure quite are English, let alone a sentence.
Take a look at the setup right now. Meet Your Makers are slowly crawling ahead. Maluno trying to set up a kill. Wither is down on Kubon and he's caught out.
He's going to launch himself away. Wither will slow him down enough. They've managed to hook him back in. Let's Bounce comes out. Is that going to keep him away? He's going to get bounced one more time. It's not the bounce he wants. Shushay does take down Sharu though, between turrets.
Now that is very, very important. The last time we've seen Shushay and Gragas, he wasn't quite able to take down Charu on Jace, but Dragonborns will pick up the Dragon, and this is something they have done so incredibly well over the course of the 4 games. Whenever something happens in the top lane, they respond so quickly and go and do that team kill on the Dragon.
And there is going to be the first tower of the game going down. Dragonborns pick that one up, and the goal difference is just 400 between the two teams still. Still a very tight match. All of these matches have been close, if truth be told. And this time again, it is Kubon keeping within reach of Yamato Cannon. Last time that happened, it was Meet Your Makers that took the game. Can the Dragonborns force the pressure? They're ready and waiting for this blue buff. They're going to be able to get it in. Makata's about to walk straight round and face checking towards them.
All right, well, we'll see how well this does play out for them. And blue buff will be up shortly. And in terms of the Dragon, I believe MYM actually picked up that last one, is what analyst SJC is telling us. Right now, Kubon's ran into 2, and here's Gragas.
He's going to get caught out, but not really going to follow through. Charu was there, ready and waiting.
Shushay didn't even pop his ultimate.
No.
Wasn't even convinced they could pick that kill up, so decided not to do that one at the end. And yeah, he had it available. Just decided didn't want to play with the blob.
Didn't want to play with a blob. Who does? Who wants to play with a blob like that? Especially when he's big and green. Nobody wants a big greenie.
So, blue buff has spawned, and it does look like Maluno wants to steal this one again. Steal this one away. He sets up, and he just solos it completely. Charu was terrified. Charu simply couldn't get involved. He didn't even walk up there.
Well, Dragonborns right now still looking very, very tight between these two. 2-1, of course. Dragonborns, Meet Your Makers, took a great 3rd game. Can they do the same in game 4? The fact that Kubon has been allowed, or whether it's simply a case of he's starting to perform a lot better now. Yamato Cannon, though, he's building that siphoning strike more and more, and he's going to become a beast when those team fights happen.
Yeah, take a look at this. He's managed to actually now start to force Kubon out of lane. Even with that Kindle Gem, as well as all the armor from the Sunfire Cape, the damage that is coming down from Yamato Cannon with those repeated strikes is just, it's going to be too much to handle. So we'll have to see how Makata decides to help out this top lane, because it'll take a lot to take Nasus down.
Yeah, it will do. 19 minutes into this game. Only 4 kills apiece so far. Gold still tight between these two. Looking at the items, though, let's have a look between those 80 carries. We talked about this. This is the kind of the standard Ezreal build now. But Makta, meanwhile, he went for that Blade of the Rune King.
So Blade of the Rune King immediately picked up Varus. That's pretty much a standard item pickup. We tend to see a transition into an Infinity Edge next, maybe even a Last Whisper. It does depend on the player and how much gold they're actually collecting. Right now, though, one of the things that's most impressive about this fourth game is how much more control we're seeing from both teams. Games 1, 2, and 3 was very early aggression, was lots of fighting, and I'm going to go on a limb and say a little bit sloppy in places. Here, it's a lot more calculated. They're not taking the risks that they were in the previous games, and I think Dragonborn's realized they don't want to throw a second game in a row, and MYM is saying, well, we don't want to give any advantages to our opponents.
We don't, and that's going to move over with that ping wall clearing out that bottom lane. This lane's actually been very tight between them this time around. We've seen Dragonborn's taking full advantage over Meteor Makers in the bottom lane previously, but Makler and Libic especially on Zyre. This seems to be the support he should have taken right from the start because it's worked brilliantly for him.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I don't feel that his Sona in game 1 was all that effective. He got camped and killed fairly often. It's something we see when, with Sonas. They either land game-changing crescendos or they just get camped early and don't really offer that much. There was a pink ward put in this bottom bush, and Maluna's been able to sneak up. He dredge lines a minion and goes, darn it, and walks away.
Showed that minion who's boss, though. And it's going to be Makata on towards Shushe. Gets the taunts across. His barrel misses. And now he's going to have to try and belly slam away from this one.
So he's going to be able to at least get to space. Levick is going to throw those grasping roots. That doesn't catch anyone, but Makler is.
Cocoon lands on Mac. The Trisha Barrage comes across. That's going to be Stan United, but he gets popped up by the ultimate. Is it going to be enough? The shockwave comes in. Absolutely melts Mover. Now the teleport comes in from Yamato Cannon. He's going to try and join the party. Is it going to be enough? They're going to drive on towards his bottom turret, but I'm not sure they have it in them.
Well, they'll see if they can right now. This is going to be a 4-man Dragonborn trying to push down this tower. Mover got dropped and Makler was saved thanks to that Stand United. The dredge line misses because of a flash.
Forces the flash out, though. Grasping Root comes in, and now Maluna taking a lot of damage there. Yamato Cannon tries to get on him, but they've lost the top turret because of this push on the bottom.
But they do manage to pick up the bottom turret, so it ends up being a trade 1-for-1. It's not over yet, as Charu and Makate are about to get caught out.
And the barrels coming through from Shushe there do manage to steal away those golems. It's all important. Every little bit of gold counts. You can see both AP mids right now over 200 CS. They're keeping that gold count going. But look at his top lane. Zach is doing work up there in the form of Kubon.
So he's taking a playbook out of Hosan's from the previous game, taking that top tower and not stopping, and there's bang in the mid lane.
Makatu has to flash away from that one. Shushe's explosive cast came in, and that barrel would have been the death of him.
Now he does have Ignite available, so if that secondary barrel had landed, there would have been an Ignite and picked up a kill on Makate, but unfortunately just missing that last barrel. Right now, that is a level 15 Shushe. He's farming incredibly well right now, only 15 CS behind his opponent. And in control. Red buff is up. Will it get taken?
Will it get taken? I'm not too sure. It looks like Zach may well have got it now. Can he get away from this one? He's going to have to launch himself. Elastic slingshot over towards the Baron pit. Everybody from Dragonborn's trying to catch on towards him. Instead, he flashes away. Sunfire Cape causes the Baron to put a bit of damage down towards him. But that was 3 members. Ooh, I thought Molona was going to go for that hook there.
So a very good flash into the Baron pit to get away. One of the mistakes that Cubon did in that lane is he started to channel that Elastic slingshot before the dredge line was used. He sidesteps this dredge line and the taunt misses, but another fight breaks out.
Sidesteps the Shadow Dash, belly slam from Shushe back on towards Makata. Kubon still very low. He's going to get explosive cast. Now the Ignite goes down. That's going to get popped. Can he take the passive down or will he reform? Barrow's going to go in there. He's ready to pop him as he reforms. It's not going to be enough. Belly slam. Is he going to come back out of it? Yes, he does. And would you believe it? Charu gets the kill on Shushe before he went down.
I cannot believe that the Blobs had enough HP and magic resist to survive that explosive cast, but they did. Zach reforms and he manages to survive, help his team pick up their 6th kill of the game. Dragon is respawned. MYM position for this one, and they want to take this down.
They will take this Dragon down. They're keeping the pressure on. You can see just off the side, Tree Shot Barrage comes across, but it's going to be Makata that picks it up with the smite. Now they're going to be Shockwave. It catches on towards Maluna and Yamato Cannon. Both get it popped up in the air. Yamato Cannon's getting focused here. Is it going to be enough? You can see the repel actually coming on. Kumon's going to get taken low. Hasn't got his passive available, but he's forced to flash away there, Muven. And that is going to be, well, Meteor Makers picking up 3 for 0 and the Dragon.
Ladies and gentlemen, MYM are here to play. 8-4 up in kills. Dragon secured 3 kills in total in that last passage of play and a 3,500 gold lead right now. All of a sudden, MYM looking like they want to just stamp an authority on this matchup. Everywhere they go, they are coordinating their plays, and crucially, Charu is saving people time and time again.
Are Dragonborn's going to turn in on themselves? No, we're going to see Shushay picking the kill on Makata here. I was about to say, if ever there was a worse time phrase right there.
I hyped them up that whole time. I hyped up how well they're playing, and simply Makata drinks himself to an early grave.
It happens to the best of us, I'm sure. We do see hell of arrows coming out from Makta to keep those waves cleared. 3-0-2 this time for Makta. He's importantly kept himself very much in this game. I worry for the Dragonborns. I worry that the momentum may have swung away from them. Just like he did for the Giants, we saw Alternate come steaming back into this game. Currently, this is heading towards a 2-2 position.
Well, we'll see how well it does pan out for them. At the moment, it is only a fairly small gold lead, so one single team fight can pull back in the favor of Dragonborn.
True-shot barrage.
Is
oh, that was tight again here. He's absolutely landing those almost
perfectly. Do they have
perfectly.
clairvoyance or something? Because his timing on those true shot barrages are fantastic. He's throwing them out at such great moments.
They came from the base.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the point. If you look at the vision, it's just above the red buff. So they would have seen them moving towards it, but they've got no actual vision on the buff itself. So just Hosan just so incredibly good with his timing. He's stolen one red buff already, almost picked up a second, and he's decided to go for a Bloodthirster after that Elder Lizard. So a slight deviation on that traditional, I think it's called the blue Ezreal build, if I recall correctly.
Yamato Cannon, in the meantime, he went for the Warmogs, and then we do see the Spirit Visage actually was what Kubon picked up in the end. I don't know where that Rejuvi beat. Is that what I get pawned into? No, I don't think that gets involved in that.
Well, let's have a look. What is his Siphoning Strike up? This is on Yamato Cannon right now. Plus 400. My word, 220 plus 400. That's a lot of damage out of each of those Siphoning Strikes. 620 damage per Siphoning Strike, and it's on about a 3.5 second cooldown.
634 to be exact.
He will get himself a good number of Qs off during the course of any given team fight, and if he can stick to Makla with that Wither, obviously he should be able to pretty much single-handedly take him out of a fight.
We have seen the fact that Kubon has 9 lives on his globule. Makata actually moving in and starting off the barrel here. There's no vision from this one. I don't want to be too loud just in case anything crazy does sneak through, but this is a very good start from Meteor Makers.
Well, I'd like to see how well this works out for them. They're going to be relying on every single piece of ability that Charu has. They've got those incredibly low. Sunfire K plus all of those auto attacks from Charu. They're probably going to
They're not sure about it.
This is a 27-minute Baron. No one's there. Zach is going to help them finish off. They've done this. They've picked this up. That is a 27-minute Baron. I cannot believe they snuck that out.
Snuck it in very nicely. The Baron now on Meteor Makers, sneaking in through with a 2-man. And now Dragonborns, the pressure is on them. Will they wilt away here against Meteor Makers just like the Giants did?
Well, I'll tell you what, when you see a Baron buff on your opponents and you had no idea it was going on, when you are 2-0 up in a series and now you run the risk of going 2-2, this is going to be some heavy thoughts on the somewhat inexperienced Dragonborns players for the most part in the team. Have never been in this kind of high-pressure situation. Their jobs are on the line.
This is very important for them. Have Meteor Makers figured out the picks and bans strategies that they need against Dragonborns? Are simply the players stepping up to the plate now? Is Kubon, after having a really shaky start, is the confidence kicking in for him? Because Yamato Cannon absolutely decimated him in game 1 and 2. Throw shot barrage comes down the lane and clears out the minions of Meteor Makers. That means they're not going to be able to pressure on the turret. There's still, importantly, only 2-1 in turrets right now. 28 minutes into the game. Lane phase is still going.
Yeah, it's just this extremely extended, extremely prolonged laning phase from MYM. And you know what? They're winning it. So why force it? Why put yourself in a position where you run the risk of getting caught out? As I say that, Kubon, he's charged up the slingshot. He's jumped in and let's bounce.
Leaps across to Hosan, bounces across. Will he get them all? Yes, he does. Bounces on towards Hosan. Oh, Chain of Corruption comes in. Explosive Clash flattens them back on the wall. Kubon still not taken out of this one. Teleport comes in. Charo with the shockwave. Only lands on towards Yamato Cannon, but Living's ultimate, that does manage to pick up some kills. Can they get the finish on towards Yamato Cannon? He's forced out of the fight. Maluno taken very low. Everybody's low, but nobody is dying. Now Dragonborns, they're caught out there. Everybody pressured down. Look at that. They're just going to be Kubon flashing straight in. Picks up a double. Bounces around. Last extinct shot's a double kill being picked up for Makla. They're chasing on. Can they get the ace on Maluna? No, he backs away. It was a 4-for-1 exchange for Meet Your Makers.
4 for 1. They got the bottom turret. They're going to take this bottom inner turret, and they might be able to put pressure on the inhibitor turret as well. That team fight was amazing from absolutely everybody. It took forever and a day for them to be able to pick up the kills, but at the end of it all, it was MYM that were left standing. This inhibitor turret's going to go down. They have 20 seconds of clock. They've caught Maluno.
They've caught Maluno. They may well be able to take him down. He dredge lines away from that one. They should get on towards the inhibitor turret. That should be the focus. Now they're on the inhibitor. Spawns are coming out here. Remember, we're only at 29 minutes. There's not long on them. They are going to hit the inhibitor turret. They're going to take down the mid turret as well. And that Baron buff has been used excellently by Meet Your Makers.
Ladies and gentlemen, a 27-minute snuck Baron has led to 1, 2, 3, 4 turrets plus an inhibitor. All of a sudden, from a small 3,000 gold lead, MYM accelerate through the roof, grab themselves a 10k gold lead there or thereabouts. At the moment, they're in control.
Absolutely. It's going to be the Dragon going down as well. And that 10,000 gold lead is now secured. And Meet Your Makers are going to go back and purchase themselves a house on the beach.
We talked about whether or not Kubon was going to be allowed to join the party or not. And that Let's Bounce, he was in and amongst...
He was partying. He was the party animal.
And he was in and amongst 3 or 4 members of Dragonborn the entirety of that fight. And he was tanking up a turret. And just with that Spirit Visage as well as Sunfire Cape, he was able to survive for such a prolonged period of time. So really, really great play there from Kubon Zach, and you can see why it has been banned out against him in the previous games. He's just finished a Leandri's Torment and picked himself up a Warden's Mail.
So he's got damage and tankiness, and well, Yamato Cannon was kind of kept out of that fight, you know, as soon as he came in, despite the fact he's got that Glacial Shroud, the Warmogs and the Spirit Visage, he just sort of came in and then went straight back out again because the shockwave damage from Sharu, everything focused on towards him. He walked in and then just walked straight out of the fight again.
So we talked about, you know, in terms of the composition, how well I like the Zyra pick for the Zac, the Orion, the Varus, and how well they synergize. Not only that, it counters Nasus because you can't run through a grasping root. You have to flash over it, and he's got Ghost. He can't do that. So the moment Yamato Cannon gets rooted or caught up, he is in trouble. Right now, you see the members of MYM moving up towards this top lane. Baron has worn off very, very recently. They have super minions in the bottom lane, and they now want this last inner turret. This is their focus, and they're probably going to be able to get it.
They may well be able to. You can see it's Makata that's actually getting baited in by Yamato Cannon there. Tries to quickly land a Siphoning Strike on him, but didn't quite get it through. The rest of Meet Your Makers do move around towards his top lane. There's a bottom wave pushing in. Remember that super minions going to be heading in towards the base of Dragonborn. So Meet Your Makers, they can just sit this one out and wait for them to walk straight in that bottom lane.
Well, we'll see how long it'll take before members of Dragonborn decide to back off. Teleport is not available on Yamato Cannon and will not be for a couple of minutes longer. So that is one of the key problems for the team. They cannot afford to lose somebody from that composition, especially that very beefy, tanky Yamato. The super minions are up to the Nexus turrets. They will start bashing away on them. And MYM have bought all the time in the world that they need. They should be able to start the siege up any moment as soon as they see the Yamato Cannon's not there.
He's backed off, yep. As you mentioned, the moment he goes back across there to deal with those super minions, the Nexus turret taking damage, and now the rest of Meet Your Makers are going to take advantage. We'll see whether that ball comes in there. There's the piercing arrow coming through. The barrels coming out from Shuche, trying to keep them at bay, but you can see Kubon's thinking of tanking this one up. They're going to buy time for Makler to get in, put the damage down. They're going to take this turret down. That's another inner turret. Got dropping. It's 7-2 in turrets, ladies and gentlemen. Meet Your Makers are getting ever so close to taking this all square in 2-2.
We talked about momentum and just how important it is. And Dragonborn, they appear to have lost theirs the previous game. While it had its moments, it was MYM that were really setting the tone, making the plays, and being in control. And Makata, Jungle Shen, I'm sorry I ever doubted you, my man. 1-1-9 right now. Of his team's 12 kills, he's been there for 10 of them. And of those 10 kills, 5 of them have gone to Makler's Varus. His positional play has been superb. He's got a 3,000 gold lead over Hosan's Ezreal. And with Hosan's build, he's not going to be putting out the same amount of damage in any of these team fights.
No, not at all. The barrels going out and Dragonborns keep them waves at bay. Of course, Meet Your Makers now with that 11,000 gold lead, 12-6 in kills. and the confidence to take the fight to the Dragonborns. And honestly, they're actually using really good map control. The fact that they knew that those super minions, they were going to come along the bottom, they just thought, well, we don't need to rush this, guys. Let's slowly but surely push in there. Baron's going to be up in 15 seconds. Ward's coming out from Meet Your Makers. They're ready and waiting to go for the next spawn.
It's one of the key features of a pro team, of an LCS team that knows how they can use the map and the map features to their advantage. And I really like the fact that Iceborne Gauntlet has been picked up by Yamato Cannon. It synergizes so great with Nasus. Baron has respawned. Exactly like you said, they are sitting ready and waiting. Dragonborns may look to contest this right now, but they need to be so careful of that Q1 jumping over the wall with that slingshot and bouncing all up in their faces.
And they're two-man in it. That's all they need to do. The rest of Meet Your Makers were just defending off that, and that was as clear as you get for a Baron.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing. Dragonborn's pretty much stood by the wayside. They were in the jungle on a safari looking at the Wraith camp and going, well, there's not really much we can do. We're really, really far behind in items. Super minions probably going to be ending fairly shortly. An inhibitor should be going down at some point in the respawning in the not too distant future. They caught out Libic, but Shujay, he over-anticipated that first barrel, although that was cute. That was very cute.
Use the explosive cast to make sure they did hit that barrel. Very well played.
So very, very cute. It's not on the longest of cooldowns, so that should be available by time it's needed. Inhibitors respawn in MYM. They want to go into this lane that's been exposed. They want to pick this one up.
Well, you do see Meet Your Makers. They're on towards that. Inhibitor will be respawning shortly, and he's up, right, sorry. They are going to maybe take a peek towards there. Meet Your Makers keeping the pressure on. Turret Inhibitor being poked slowly down. Makata in there, look at that, just baiting them. He's got the ball on defensively. There goes the launching from Kuban. Doesn't manage to land on the target he wants, though. Hosan now is going to be the one he wants. It's going to be the Inhibitor going down. And the Meet Your Makers now just Makatu, remember the flash initiates he had before. He was waiting to see if he could find that moment. Didn't get it, so they're just going to rotate back around.
So Dragonborns did very good at splitting in that particular setup. They made sure that they couldn't get jumped on. There are minions up in the top lane. So Meet Your Makers are going to be rolling around to the top, trying to set themselves up to take that inhibitor down. Shockwave has caught Hosan. He's dead.
He was dead before I could say anything. He was caught and killed, and that was straightforward. Meet Your Makers now on towards the second inhibitor turret. The explosive cask simply a delaying mechanism this time around. And well, Meet Your Makers now with two inhibitors picked up. They're surely going to take this one 2-2. And Dragonborns, they have to start thinking about game 5.
Yeah, that's the truth. At the moment, it's practically impossible to come back from this goal deficit with two inhibitors down. Meet Your Makers with Baron buff still up for another 2 minutes. Will probably start this never-ending siege. Super minions have spawned themselves in the mid lane. They'll be working their way across the map. But Cocoon has caught Makate, and that's the last target you wanted on. There's the Stranglethorns running interference, buying time for Makla to take down the 9th turret of the game. They're about to jump onto the inhibitor. Yamato Cannon takes a shot to the face from Zach, and that's the third inhib down. MYM, they've gone 2-2. They want to pull in alternates.
Baron buff goes down. They are going to back off. And now with all 3 inhibitors down, that means double super minions will be coming in now. Meet Your Makers just buying their time to secure this and bask in really the victory that they are about to take over the Dragonborns. Everybody backs off, and we see a high five coming out from Kuban and Makla.
Well, they need to finish this one up. It's not over yet. They're not out of the woods. They need to win one more game. Charu is out of his seat in anticipation right now. They are over the moon to be pulling this one back. And the question is, whose ability goes deeper? Who is going to pick up game number 5? Head over to Lolly Sports and vote, because we're still looking at it.
It is, of course, Makata. He's making the calls in that mid lane. You can see him. He's jeering up his team. He's like, we've got this, guys. Coming back from 2-0 down, that is such a big momentum swing. We saw Alternate yesterday, just how crazy they went after taking that second victory and equaling up. We saw the grim faces the Giants had. Will we be seeing the same? It looks like it is, because I'm not seeing a great deal of communication right now from the Dragonborns in that lower red box right now. They are so far behind in gold. Meet Your Makers, all the inhibitors down, everything in the jungle exposed. They are surely but going out of this one, and now they have a really serious situation on their hands. From 2-0 up to 2-2, it is a grim thought for the Dragonborns. Their LCS future really on the line right now.
There's no other way to paint it. The final siege is on. Baron is up for 2 seconds is about to wear off as MYM have got grouped up as 5 members. There is so many super minions moving into the base. Ghost is up, Yamato cannon. The final fight is coming down. The true shot barrage misses, and here we go.
Well, they're trying to get on there. They're going to see the grasping root's going to pop in there. Maluna's the one that's caught out. Shockwave hasn't been used just yet. We do see the bouncing coming out. Yamato cannon. It's Makata that's actually kiting him. He takes him down. There's going to be Oriana getting a kill on towards Movet. That's another kill. Double kill going down there. Shushi gets away, and there's a launching green blob in your backside. He goes down. Hosan has to try and get away from this one. The Nexus turrets will be dropping down, and Meet Your Makers take game 4. We are going to a 5th game, ladies and gentlemen. The final match of the day will be the final match to decide who will be in the LCS.
Meet Your Makers or Dragonborns. It is 1 spot remaining, 1 game remaining. We're roughly 1 hour away from finding out who the final team for the summer split of the League of Legends Championship Series